Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be tying up a baitfish pattern that I like to call the craft cord baitfish. This is a super simple, super easy to tie fly that uses readily available materials from your local craft store. Yeah, I know I said craft store. Let me just back up and say, please support your local fly shops. We absolutely need to support our local fly shops. They are the heart and soul of the local fly fishing community. But that being said, if you do support your local fly shops and you just need a quick, simple guide style fly that mimics a whole lot of baitfish, check out the craft cord baitfish. It's super easy to tie. So let's get right into it. Okay, let's get started. So like I said, whenever you're getting this craft cord, look for this polypropylene. This is the material you're looking for. It can be found in a number of different brands, but that poly type rope is what you're looking for. So pretty simple. Just pull off a strand, cut it, get you a pet style brush. You can also get these at the craft store for a couple dollars. Lay it on a flat surface and simply brush it out. And there you can see, you are left with a perfect baitfish fiber that resembles more expensive EP style fibers. All right, in the vise, we've got a Umpqua U401 hook in a size 2. For thread, I'm just going to use some Uni 140 denier and chartreuse. For the tail, I'm going to use extra select craft fur. I use about a 1-inch clump off of the hide. Get that all cleaned out, get that tied in, get a couple of wraps under the tail, help secure that and keep it from fouling. Once you get that tied in for the body, I'm going to use this material that I also found at the craft store. I have no idea what the name of it is, so if you can't find it, use this Pesca Vida Streamer Straggle from Upavon. It's actually a lot better than the craft store material. I just happen to have a lifetime supply from the craft store. Once you get that tied in, go ahead and coat that body with some super glue and then carefully wrap that body with touching wraps. Try not to get into the super glue with your fingers. This just makes it super durable. Once you get that tied in, I'm going to take a nylon brush and brush all of this out, and then I'm actually going to take a pair of scissors and really butcher this. I'm going to cut most of these fibers really short. I'm just going to leave a few that are running down the tail and then just really shorten this up. And now for the head on this fly, we're going to take that craft cord that we brushed out earlier, and you want to keep this pretty sparse. A good way to keep that sparse is to pull a single strand out of that craft cord rope, and this will help keep you consistent and keep the head fairly sparse. Pull that out where it extends past the bend of the hook a good 1/2 inch or more. Depends on what kind of taper you're trying to build. Cut your excess material off, and then we're going to use this same material in a contrasting color. Here I'm going to use white for the belly. And the strands on this white were a little thinner, but that's okay. Once you get that secured, fold the material back over itself, and then you're going to get a couple of wraps on top of itself. That way it forces those fibers rearward. Cut your excess material off, and then we're just going to continue to repeat the process here. You're going to get a total of 3 stacks of this fiber, and it's going to look really full and look pretty terrible, honestly, for a little while, but just trust the process. And then when you get that 3rd and final stack on the front, you want to just take and get some thread wraps in front of it. You don't put any thread wraps on top of the material whenever you fold it back over itself. This just helps give that head a good profile. And here I'll just take a cheap dollar store hair clip, hold that material back, cut the excess off, and then I'm going to take some super glue and coat that thread. Get about 1 inch or so of super glue on that thread, get several thread wraps, and you'll see some of that super glue will soak in to those butt sections. And honestly, super glue would probably hold just fine, but I'm going to throw in a whip finish, just make it extra secure. And then I'm going to take a wire bristled brush and brush all of this material out. This just really helps blend all of this material together, blend the 3 stacks all together. And then once you get that brushed out, I like to take a pair of curved scissors, like these loon scissors, and start to cut that profile. And you're going to cut a lot more than what you think you need to. I left this fly in the vise. Usually I always take it out of the vise to trim it, and honestly, I could have cut quite a bit more off and it would have saved me quite a bit of trimming. Here you can see I finally just gave up and took it out of the vise. And then just trim this thing down until you get the profile you're looking for. Remember, this fiber is kind of like deer hair. Just take a little off at a time. Just keep trimming a little here and there until you get that profile you're looking for. And once you're happy with that profile, go ahead and stick that in the vise and let's slap some eyes on it. I'm just going to use some living eyes. And the package says 4mm. These are actually 6. And honestly, I would probably go 8mm. I think that's what I usually use on these. Put some gel super glue, and don't use your thumb like I did here. You're just going to wind up with it glued to your thumb. Use a bodkin, help set those eyes, or a toothpick, help keep it off your thumb. Once you've got that eye set in place, flip it over, repeat the process. And then you can coat these eyes with some UV resin, whatever, but that is basically the finished fly. And like I said, this has been a really good bait fish pattern for me. I tied in numerous colors. The olive over white has been one of my favorites. Blue over white or gray over white makes a really good like thread fin shad pattern. Here I've got it in all white with almost no flash at all to it, using that Streamer Straggle from Upavon. And this material does come in a whole host of different colors, but keep in mind it is a synthetic material and it does take a Sharpie pretty well. So you can color this up to match whatever kind of bait fish you're trying to imitate. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.